Alright, hello lovely people of the internet. I'm joined here today with Justin, #2 crown propagandist, Marn,
Hi.
an unimportant biased C9 fan, and Flibble. We're here today to talk about the NA season. It's going to be 10 teams, only one winner, and none of it will matter because spring doesn't matter anymore. We're best of one double round robins, and we have sort of a semi-double elimination playoffs.
Oh no.
I love how we're a second in and Flibble's already getting bullied. He doesn't even get a name, he just gets Flibble.
Yeah, I'm just Flibble.
Alright,
There we are.
Perfect.
That's
Move
it.
on.
So before we go into the rankings, I have one big question for you guys.
Okay.
How much will Academy matter this split?
Absolutely nothing unless it's C9 or Dignitas Academy.
That's very true.
No one's going to do anything with Academy this split.
No, except maybe one team will replace their entire role, but maybe one team will pull a Misfits.
That's very true.
I feel similar. I think one team will split their Academy roster. Maybe
It's not going to be the one we expect.
It's gonna be C9.
So to explain it to the lovely people listening, how we did this is basically we put all of our power rankings together and we made like an aggregate power ranking. And we're going to go from bottom to top for the team we think will do the worst in the spring season to the team we think will do the best. So to start,
So let's start with C9.
C9. Okay, now let's go. The team we think will do the worst is Golden Guardians. And I really want to start talking about this team because why is this a roster? It really feels like they wanted just to fill up the 10th spot. Like they just grabbed random
What, the
players.
reprint?
I sort of like closer.
Their jersey looks good.
Jersey looks good. Maybe it's a team just for
Closer's
sort of jerseys.
I don't know, man. This roster is like I saw the first okay, we kept Hanser. All right, good. All right, what else you got? Well, we got Golden Glue. Okay.
I want to chime in as the former C9 mid laner at one point. When he had his brief stint in the team, on the main roster, should I say, he actually wasn't that bad. And he was a lot better than I thought he was going to be.
Oh, he's probably
And
at least the third
their
best
top
player.
side looks acceptable.
Yeah, the bot lane though.
Like, if they can... Like, I feel the premises for Season 10 is strong solo lanes win the game.
Let's have a look, alright? Hunter is an above, or at least at worst an average top laner.
Top
in the
5,
league.
top
He's
6?
Probably above average at this point.
He's definitely a top 6 top laner in the league.
Yeah. Alright, Closer was pretty good at Worlds. Okay. What else you got? Golden Glue is pretty good. I mean, he's not the worst mid laner in the league. And then you look at the bot lane. So we got FBI, who was good at MSI. And then there's a glaring problem that I have with your roster in the support slot.
It
That's
could
C9
work.
man. He's been on your team.
Has
You're gonna talk-
It has
I
like a
have
1%
reservations because with roster swaps, position changes, you never know if it could springboard Keith, as much of a meme as it sounds, to now he's really good.
You're
But
telling me he's gonna be the next core JJ?
absolutely not. But what I'm trying to my biggest point is, why didn't you just pick up a support? Or why didn't you just start Huhi, who's already been playing support for a year, over Keith?
Yeah, I don't know why Keith.
Why do we still have to talk about Keith in 2020?
Because Keith is the biggest talking point on his team.
Well, I didn't definitely get a starting spot. Why is FBI here?
I think actually early on they could surprise a lot of people, pick up strange wins.
Yeah, they'll probably
'Cause
beat
they-
Liquid, because Liquid always loses to the Golden Guardians.
They just have a very unpredictable. They just have a very unpredictable lineup.
I mean, they have 2 wildcard players. What do you expect?
Yeah, and I think early on that could be a really good it could be a really good wild card. No pun intended.
I don't know. Like, closer could be really good, or he could be whelming. But I don't know. This GGS roster doesn't. They're not going to do anything. They're not even a playoff dark horse. They're just like cannon fodder.
I don't have any faith in this roster. Like, my saving grace was sort of. I kind of like Closer.
Yeah.
Inero is like a decent enough coach. Like, I don't think he's a top coach in the league, but I think he's Gucci. But
didn't every team that Nero left immediately have to leave the
yeah,
league as well?
He has like the Nero curse. Every team Nero joins just explodes.
Yeah, so that's why I joined GGS, because they couldn't get any worse.
Yeah, they can't just explode. Horrible.
The thing with GGS's top side is, if this was TSM's top side, I'd be down. But because this on GGS, I think it's getting overshadowed because their roster is so
bad.
I'm just gonna say bad.
Hey, I think
they have some good building blocks to say.
Their top side might compete with another team that's coming later on the list that's getting a lot of hype that they don't deserve. Alright. Yeah, alright. Does anyone want to explain to me why I should pay attention to anyone besides Closer on this team?
No.
I think Haunts is pretty fine.
Yeah. Probably.
Their team is full of people that are just fine, like 99% of the time. But then you're going to get that one Keith Popoff game. Now his support, I don't know what champion it's going to be on.
That'll be a center.
It could be a center again. It could be like a Leona game in week 1, and then he'll just do
against
nothing
Liquid.
They need to establish their own playstyle if they're going to pick up wins.
I agree.
If they try to play standard, I think they'll get blown off the map.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like, that's what I hope they'll do. I'm scared they'll just try and play standard against every team and hope they win, but
that's the problem.
Also, this is best of 1, so this is like the best chance they'll get.
Yeah.
I think they can cheese a couple wins.
How many wins do we think they'll get?
3.
I'm gonna say 4.
Actually, yeah, I was gonna say 4 again.
I'm going to say
because I'm just having the Optic vibes of last year, where they went 4-0 very quickly.
Week 1,
and then the rest of the league found them out.
Crown was the best player in the league. Oh no!
I think they go 1-1 for the first 3 weeks and then don't win another game.
Hey,
I think once the league can work out what they do, the start of the season is going to be such a mess.
I agree.
Yeah,
I want them to prove me wrong. I want Golden Guardians to prove me wrong. I don't think they can.
Just being an average team will exceed my expectations for them.
Yeah.
Like, if they're losing, but they're making these games competitive, then that's fine.
Yeah,
I'll happily accept them.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on, I guess. Unless anyone's got anything else.
Yeah, no, we're done here.
We're done. Okay. Let's go over to the number 9 team we have in our aggregate power rankings. Dignitas. So please, Marn.
So I think Dignitas is oh man. I'm just gonna go out and say it. Why is their academy team so much better than their
main
starting
team?
roster?
Yeah.
It's funny because they don't even have to worry about the import slots to just move their players around.
Yeah.
I guess I can't remember what the price was. It 1.5 for Huni or was 1 million?
It was 2.3 for a 2-year contract.
Oh man, that's very upsetting for
everyone involved except for Huni.
Exactly.
No, dude, I don't understand why this EchoFlux Dignitas Academy team is like every player besides top lane is just better in their position, and top lane would probably be better for that roster.
I don't want them to succeed just because they do have Greg in the lineup. And
I don't want them to
feel he
succeed
should
because
be.
they have Greg, Froggen, and Afro in the lineup.
They
And I'm
have
fond of all of them.
so many just players that they're either overpaying or I think are just washed. And then they've got
Hooney's name. That wasn't okay.
I don't.
they're definitely overpaying for Froggen.
You see, Froggen
They're actually
in the
not.
past has taken a lot of pay cuts to be on teams these days.
Yeah.
I think they're paying more for Afromu and Ole probably than they offer Froggen.
Yeah.
Because that was probably one of the only teams he was going to get on that was available. And
So before we,
Well, I think I
want to know what their intentions are.
I mean,
Because-
literally all they have is like name value. So like, I guess they're really just banking on like brand reputation at this point.
so the one
That's all I can imagine. It's like they got big name players. They have Hooney, Froggen, and Afro, and then they brought in.
Do you know what this reminds me of?
Like-
Golden Guardians last year.
Well, when they had Froggen, Hans.
They just had big names.
This isn't bigger names, to be fair.
No, I just want to know what their direction is. Like, what is their plan for 2020?
Pray to God that Johnson's good.
so
I can't accept a team that has Greg in it.
I agree.
I
I
agree.
would really like to see.
He shouldn't be anywhere near an LCS team.
I want Phoenix to play AD carry this split. It'll be
I
funny.
have a feeling he will come in quicker than everyone thinks.
So this is the thing
I
about
want to see
this
the Monte.
team. This is basically Eikafox from anywhere you can look at it. But Dignitas did not buy out the Eikafox spot. It merged with Clutch Gaming, right? So why
Yeah,
would
they-
they take Clutch Gaming and then will be like, you know what we need to be like Eikafox?
Didn't Clutch like trade 3 players from Dignitas? They got the Monte and Hooney from Dignitas.
Yeah, they just did a
Not from
swap.
Dignitas,
they
from
swapped a
Echofox.
lot of players with Eikafox.
With Apollo, Hakuho, and someone else.
Solo, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. This
So,
roster is rough. This roster is gonna make me watch Academy.
Yeah, I'm actually quite excited about. If they don't win the academy, that's very upsetting.
Hey man, I was like 2 feet away from Lorlo when I was at LCS. Now he's my best friend, and he's gonna win Academy. Or if he doesn't, then it will be really embarrassing.
they're definitely on paper a top 3 academy roster. But the main roster, I don't think he would make top 3 in an academy.
Flibble, if their Academy roster was in the LCS, I'd rate them higher than I did now.
Yeah, if their academy roster was in, I'd give them an outside shot at getting
Where
out
would you
playoffs.
put this team, the academy team I'm talking about, in the power rankings?
I would put them one slot higher than their current team is.
I would put them
8th?
either 7th or 8th.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, looking at that,
I would
that
think about
7th
it.
place,
I would think about it.
I'd
Oh
have to
my
consider it.
god. That's disgusting.
Here's the one, like, I don't want to say shining light, but the one interesting aspect is Johnson for me, because he's like literally the only drop of fresh blood in this roster.
He's the only player I've seen I care about.
Yeah. So basically it's Johnson and other guys that can be changed with academy players.
Jesus
Damn
Christ.
it. Where are we?
But even if they put in the Academy roster, I'd rather have Phoenix.
Yeah,
Because it'd be
I heard.
funnier.
I
And I
heard-
heard he's actually not that bad at AD carry.
I heard Johnson
Is
wasn't
over.
actually doing too great in academy
Oh.
when he got put in for. I think he only played 4 games, but apparently he didn't do so hot in any of those.
Phoenix is now
Tactical.
an NA resident, by the way, so you can just put.
Wait, what did they pick up Johnson and not tactical?
No idea.
Oh my god, I'm done with this team.
All right. The worst part is I still have to root for them because
Oh,
I'm a masochist at heart, I guess. Moving on, unless anyone has anything else to say about Dignitas Academy.
It really confuses me why you picked up Aframu over. There's so many examples I can just look at from Academy and LCS.
yeah.
You could have picked up Hakuho. He's probably better.
Well,
Probably has more in him.
he's-
You have Ole on your bench. You have JJ, Treats, Diamond.
Woody.
Wadiid's available, that's true. But you, yeah.
They have 2 imports.
So I will say this: at least they don't have Kid as support.
Who knows? He might actually be better than Aframu.
Please let that
One way to find out.
be this timeline. Please not this time.
I like this timeline.
No, I hate it. Okay, moving on.
I like the timeline where we're not talking about Dignitas anymore.
All right.
Yeah, I like
That's
that one.
true.
So let's go to our 8th place team in FH.
Yeah. So speaking of Hakuho, at 8th place we have Immortals. So Justin, can you please guide us through Immortals?
I feel so bad for Xmithie. Jesus Christ. How much are they paying him? This is not fair. Like, what? Wasn't he the first player they announced? And I was like, okay.
Alright,
Okay,
this is a building block, and then the rest of the team
pretty
comes
good.
out.
Oh, no. So they got Hakuho now without Apollo. I haven't seen that one. They brought in Altec, who, like...
He was okay on Echo Fox.
Yeah, but...
Like, he was a part of the team, the initial Echo Fox roster that could have went to finals with Huni and Dardoch.
Yeah,
And they were fine, like, they were pretty good in Managing, but...
Yeah. But their bot lane was definitely not the reason they were good. He was fine, but...
He was consistent.
I have faith in Zeyzal that they're not a last place team.
He's at best the 8th best AD carry in the league.
Yeah.
I think the only two worst options are the ones we just already talked, are the ones on the teams that we've already talked about.
Like, they do also, for Immortals, they've still got Apollo on Academy, and they've got Asta on the bench.
Asta would be interesting to see
Yeah.
play. And they have Arrow under contract still.
I think... No, that he's been removed from the contract database now.
Are you sure? He still shows
I-
on the page.
Yeah, I checked the contract earlier.
The answer is we have no idea yet.
Because Arrow is probably better than those options than any other option, unfortunately. Yeah, and then we got the French solo laners that Zabatine brought in. Man, I feel so bad for Xmithie and Zabatine. Actually, oh my lord.
So as we dive into
Eika was something on LDLC. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't anything. He was never gonna make it into LEC. And SOAZ had some issues last year.
I just have a feeling Insanity will come in very quickly.
That's actually fair.
I just think they'll just go with that.
You know what? I would have preferred Insanity as their starting
It
mid laner.
wouldn't also surprise me if Apollo comes in.
Yeah, I think Apollo and Insanity have a decently higher chance of appearing.
I think Apollo's going to be in like week 3.
Yeah. To me, this roster is built to not lose, but that's not really how you win games.
I can't wait for this roster to actually just like overtake one of our top 7 teams and just gatekeep someone out of playoffs.
Yeah, I think they can do it. Here's the thing.
I can see this being the optic where they get 7th place.
Eika did pretty
So
well in like minor leagues. I think he has potential. He will need to be like,
I don't know. Eika could. I remember when I think of Eika, I remember the Element stint, and that was awful.
we don't talk
I
about
mean,
that.
he wasn't completely horrible in the Elements stint. He just did nothing.
one
Yeah,
of my
that's-
biggest problems with the LCS this year
Mhm.
is there is too many teams that have mid laners where the scenario is, okay, if you don't F up, we might have a chance because of our other players.
Mm,
So
I feel like you're flaming a certain player that we'll talk about later.
I can talk about a few teams that probably have that problem.
Well,
But
guess we'll
Evolves is
find out
definitely
later.
one of them.
My issue with most of these teams is that I don't see what they're doing. Like, they're clearly not developing talent, but they're clearly not aiming to win either. So what the fuck are you here for?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, you know,
It could have been a case of, though,
good on
this is
Xmithie.
probably the best they could grab at the time.
Yeah, good on Xmithie. He's getting paid way too
Like,
much.
if you got Sneaky instead of Altec, this team instantly goes up a level, in my opinion.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Shall we move on then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
Now,
oh my! I can't wait for this.
Oh boy!
Here
for
we
the
go.
last 3 teams, we were all like very solid. Like, we knew SK was 10th, we knew Misfits was 9th, we knew Vitality was 10th.
Yeah, you mean
We have some
Uh,
discrepancy here. So, Flibble, please guide us through this Evil Geniuses roster.
So, Evil Geniuses, I kind of like what they've done for the off season. They've brought in 3 players in Kumo, Svenskeren, and Zeyzal, all from Cloud9. So they all have at least known each other, how each other play, even if they haven't scrimmed that much. And that's a really nice core to have, and a really nice building block with. And Svenskeren's really fucking good. It's just Zeyzal and Kumo, I'm not too sure about where they're going to go. Like, they can peak really high, but their floor is horrible. And then they've brought in 2 other players that are pretty much the same as Kumo and Zeyzal, and they can be really good or really bad.
because I think Bang is still really fucking good. Like, Bang on 100 Thieves had the highest damage numbers out of any player in the league. Both splits on one of the worst teams in the league. So while I agree with your point on Jiizuke, I definitely disagree on Bang. I think Bang is a top ADC in the league.
Yeah, he's top
I think-
ADC. It's just the communication, which I see as potentially an issue there, because who's going to translate?
Zeyzal speaks so much, it might be overwhelming for him.
Yeah.
So, here's how I see it.
Unironically.
I will bide my time before I speak about Evil Geniuses.
Alright, so it's my turn. Great. Alright, so let's talk about EG's fucking branding. So first of all, I imagine a meeting with something like this. They got their crowd of like boomers, sat them around the table, and they were like, alright guys, how do we appeal to the Zoomers? And they were like, well, you see, we have evil in our names, and Zoomers are edgy. So if we just put it in all caps, they will look at it. And now someone was like made the gigantic brain realization: if you write evil backwards, you get live. And now their catchphrase is live evil, and I hate everything about it.
Just to quickly chime in, they are rebranding the logo again.
Thank God, their logo.
They said we are making a logo that is more reminiscent of the old school EG logo.
So it's not just
So no, they're not having the words anymore. They just realized it was probably a really bad mistake.
So they read Twitter. Good to know. All right.
Sorry, I have to
Yes.
talk about this. Like, you guys were literally handed a franchise, like, in a silver platter. Like, here it is, it's renowned, you have it. Just, you don't need to do anything. And then they come in and just
They
throw
just
it all
bought the.
to the window. Sorry.
They were doing so well on CSGO as well, and then they rebranded and actually started losing.
Alright, Marn, you can go. We'll be thinking this.
Here we go.
I hate everything about this team, and it's not even
Their fault.
all their fault. So, I want to start with the owner
Mhm,
or the CEO. I don't know what her name is.
mhm.
It's so cringy that their like thing is that they are going to take over the LCS. That roster is not probably taking over 6th place. in my honest opinion. And you know what frustrates me as a C9 fan? That everyone, like, there's so many analysts and boomers and people I know very close to me that have them over C9. And if you put C9's logo on these players, people would absolutely flame this roster to hell. But because it's EG, they're doing very good.
Yeah, you've got to think not existing to.
If this was this was C9's roster, I'd be very upset.
Dude, if you slap a C9 logo on this, people would be like, "Oh my god, they downgraded so hard."
Yep. And
downgrade top lane, downgrade mid lane, downgrade AD carry because Sneaky is insane. It's the only place they upgraded the C9 roster, and meanwhile, okay, I don't even want to say anything.
I just don't understand. Like they were shit talking TL that they're gonna overtake them. Highly unlikely, even with Pobelta in jungle.
Yeah. Nah, dude, it's just.
I think it would not surprise me if they try and emulate. Like they'll probably say to Svenskeren, "What did you do on C9 that worked? And we're gonna try that now."
Dude, I love how they tried to shit talk every single team, and then every team clapped back.
Yeah,
that was hilarious. Thank you, EG, for providing me with entertainment by making a fool of yourself. Please don't.
Can't fathom how people come to the conclusion that this roster's better than C9's.
This roster is.
It's definitely not better than C9's. I think they can sneak into playoffs. I just don't see them going much further than first round.
I've seen tweets about how they're going to do some serious damage at Worlds, and
yeah.
I mean, if everything goes perfectly and like the players grow as people are like, oh my god, they're definitely going to grow like this, then maybe. Sure they can get
everything
to Worlds.
goes right.
There's literally nothing left of the spring.
Scenario is that Kumo channels everything that he learned from Licorice.
Jiizuke channels his 2018 rookie split.
Yes. Bang's a world champion, so he can do what he wants. And Zeyzal plays Alistar.
Zeyzal talks a lot. Zeyzal inceptions the enemy support, aka Tushin, to pick Alistar.
I just want to also cuss EG by saying, how did we get from almost signing Chovy to Jiizuke?
Oh no, dude!
They definitely didn't almost sign Chovy.
They wouldn't know when they're signing him.
But they made an offer, so it was close. Just like TL has been close to getting Faker every year.
Yeah,
there's a few players in Academy I'd probably take over Jiizuke.
I would take Insanity over Jiizuke instantly.
I'd take Triple.
I'd take.
Oh, you're right.
If he doesn't play Tristana.
I forgot Triple is in fucking Academy now. No. Goddamn
I like
team
the
of boomers.
Jiizuke because new surroundings. He might go back to good Jiizuke. It's just, will he? Like, if he doesn't, they have to chop and change for summer for mid lane. Really,
they should have gotten Magic. They should have gotten Magic Felix instead.
Thinking about it, I really feel that this could work. This is my fears because if this is a big if Svenskeren and Zeyzal were the reason C9 looked the way they did in summer, then Jiizuke probably looks a lot better than he actually does.
Yes.
And I think Bang's a better AD carry than Sneaky.
Yes.
And you got Kumo for that synergy. So it can work.
It's just there need too many things need to fall into place.
It just needs to be it just needs to be the perfect season for them. For
it's actually going to need to be a Cinderella story.
And if it works, fair play to them. I just
But until it happens,
I still can't see why you put them over C9.
I agree.
Like, show me where they are better.
I mean, AD carry, but that's it.
I'd say that's
but
better AD carry in jungle.
Bang's not Uzi, so they're not going to be winning games just from that.
Yeah, I agree. There's only like 5 AD carries I can think of that I would have put on this team. That would have been like, wow.
They're probably going to do a lot better than the most.
So here's the thing we can agree on Evil Geniuses. They have like a lot higher ceiling than every other team we've talked about so far.
The teams we talked about, yeah.
Yes.
Like
this team actually has something going for them.
I agree.
Their ceiling, if everything goes perfectly, is top 3. But I don't think they hit that.
No.
I think they're gonna falter a little bit at the start. Maybe it doesn't work out too well for spring. I can see them hitting 4th or 5th in summer as long as they stick with what they've got and it's not absolute trash.
So the predicted EG lineup would have been damn scary, but this is what we ended up with. So the predicted lineup was someday Svenskeren, Demonte, Bang, Zeyzal.
Oh right, so that's Travis lineup.
Yeah, and that was scary.
That was fucking terrifying.
Really scary.
I mean, imagine if they'd gotten Chovy. Then this team becomes a team that does damage at Worlds.
They probably get finals.
They
definitely do damage at Worlds. Just with that lineup, probably.
I don't know who. Maybe to do some damage to Zeyzal's brain, or to Chovy's brain. My bad. Dude, can I play devil's advocate for a second and imagine how funny it would have been if this team if they signed Forbidden instead of Jiizuke?
I would have had more faith.
You mean you're telling me that Forbidden went to World Semis and Jiizuke lost in groups to Gen G and C9 and RNG?
Like, they picked up not even the 10th best LEC mid lane last year.
Like, I would have preferred it so much if they picked up like Sven or Kobbe instead of Bang, or like Crown instead of Jiizuke.
Why do you need to import Jiizuke?
Yeah.
Demonte would have probably worked for free on EG.
Dude, give me Demonte or even Insanity, and it would have been.
I would even take a Blaze.
You could have.
Is that going too far? I
think Fnatic had 3 mid laners that were better than Jiizuke last split.
Like,
unironically,
playing support.
You could have taken Demonte, either signed like Kumo's fine. I don't care about Kumo, but you could have imported a support to go with Bang.
Yes.
And
imagine if the Tushin thing went through.
Imagine if you get the impact.
Yes. Because his English is also fine.
And he could bust the reins.
From what I've heard, they would not be getting any revenge on C9, but because he still wouldn't know how to play against Lucian Braum.
Yes. Alright. Yeah, I think we're good.
Let's go to the... I've ranted about this.
Yeah.
Let's move on to playoff caliber. Alright.
So the team that I have close to AG, and since we're talking about triple anyways, it's FlyQuest.
Yeah.
So I guess I have to start on FlyQuest, and why I have them under Evil Geniuses while most of the guys have them over. Basically, I just trust Irian over Curry. I don't think Curry has done much of an impact yet as a coach. I think the rosters are quite similar. I think Svenskeren is much better than Santorin. Rabang, I think it's much better than
That's interesting.
I
think Santorin's actually really fucking good, by the way.
Santorin's good.
Think apart from Viper, I really like this team.
Yeah.
This team just
do you like the more they put in Revenge?
This is one of those, like, they're not going to be a top 3, but they're one of those teams where you just put really good plays together and you're like, I really like the look of this.
I think that kind of stems from the fact this team on paper looks super aggressive.
It's something.
They're just going to jump in your face, hit you like 4 or 5 times, and then see what you do. And then if you don't do anything, they're just going to keep going and rolling.
Dude.
It's just the issue is the quality of players.
This team radiates 2017 Misfits vibes, by the way.
Yes.
It's honestly just like, imagine 2017 Misfits with a slightly better jungler and a reasonably worse top laner.
Like, I think
And
they can get fourth.
a more crazy...
I think if you're putting them top 3, you're probably trolling. But I think this roster can be pretty good. It's just a question of, can Viper not hold his own?
Give me 2013 Wild Turtle, dude.
If
There we
Give me
go.
2013 C9. We'll win Worlds this year.
Wait, hold up. Give me Quantic Gaming. with Wild Turtle.
this for me, this FlyQuest roster, I would have them a lot higher if I trusted their coaching staff to be inventive.
Yeah.
It has D-Lim on it, so you're probably not getting any
Much.
place.
Dude. I would just say this team is like straight up better than EG. Like, I don't know. You said Svenskeren is a lot better than Centauran. I don't think he's a lot better than Centauran. I think Centauran's really fucking good. And he's hard recovered from his 2015 TSM stint. Like, Centauran, last split, what was he? Wasn't he in Spring the only non-TSM TL C9 player to be in the fucking...
yeah, he was.
On the All-Pro team? That was funny.
Yeah.
But... Man.
I think this FlyQuest roster with the coaching staff of Evil Geniuses would be so much better.
I agree.
Dude, imagine Evil Geniuses with like 95% less evil.
Can we talk about their bot lane for a second?
That bot lane's gonna be fucking...
What a wild ride that's gonna be.
Press the attack Leona incoming, my dude.
Absolutely.
No, not even better. Conqueror Leona, dude. You're not ready. Turtle's playing Tristana and going forward. Actually, no, he's going Kog'Maw and he's flashing forward. This man is unstoppable. Dude, I love Wild Turtle, by the way. I don't care if this team does well. His content's funny, and I like it.
Oh, yes.
This man is the biggest,
Wild Turtle's great.
This man is a content machine. And
The problem for FlyQuest, there's no top laner available that I can swap in that's gonna help them.
Yeah, it's like if you look at who's available, it's like Mr.
If I was FlyQuest, for Summer Split, I would pay a blank check to go and get Haunter.
I thought you were going to say a blank check to 100 Thieves to get Fake God.
I would take Fake God.
No,
I would take Fake God.
Yeah. I'd probably go and get Haunter, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, but I guess if he really wants out of Golden Guardians, but he doesn't seem to want to.
It depends if they go 0-18.
Imagine if the other Hanser rumor went through, where Huni swaps to mid and Hanser joins Dig.
I would have been down for that.
That would have been an upgrade for Dig.
Most things would have been an upgrade for Dig.
Why did you guys hurt me?
True.
Okay. Should we move on to the next team?
I think I want FlyQuest to make playoffs. I want to see that. I want them to make playoffs and make some noise in
I think they'll be one of those teams. They will miss one of the playoffs.
I mean, Summer's playoffs is 8 teams, so it'd be really impressive if they missed that one.
But I mean, so are we for the new format? Are we classing the top 6 as the?
We're talking about spring, so we're
in the sense in the summer. I don't really class the 7th and 8th team as the true playoff teams in the sense.
I agree
because they
sorry.
They're technically fair enough. You've done enough to make it, but
hey, Immortals
in a sense, it's really not hard to.
Yeah, I think the only reason 7th and 8th are in there...
Think that. You have a chance for Worlds if you even go, 2-16. Which is absolutely...
It's impossible to be above 9 for being 2-16, I'm pretty sure.
But what if the other teams are...
Is it technically possible to be... Yeah, it's technically possible to be 3-way tied for last, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you
Like,
could be
you
dead
have
last.
to have 3 wins.
But then you'd end.
Actually, yeah. Think about it. Yeah, that's true. 3
You
wins.
need to have like 3 or 4 wins, technically.
So 3 and 15.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
You can go to Worlds. That would just be like the craziest stat. Like, introducing not Flag Fest, Golden Guardians finished 3 and 15 in the LCS Summer Split.
In the
This is
group
their
stage
first appearance
again.
at the World Championship.
In the group stage against Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, I can't wait for that team to like not win a single game until there's 3 games left in the regular season.
They're
They make it in 3 games
Oh my god! Can we
at the
move
end,
on?
and then just don't lose. Like, I want that to happen.
I want to talk about the second most overrated team.
But so the one thing I would say is like the season is about to end, and then like Golden Guardian straight up buys the whole team liquid.
That's when Dick fucking pull out their roster.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
That's what they put in Lorlo.
All right, guys.
Psych. We're paying Hoodie 2.3 million, but he's paying Lorlo 10 million.
Oh, that would be funny.
All right, guys.
All
Moving
right.
on to the next
I want to
game.
move on to the second most overrated team.
Imagine just before. Sorry, before just a tangent. Imagine just before the roster locks, they just swap out all their players, so they have no time to prep.
they pick up like only like a random like they just like sign Jack.
wait. If could you imagine if Sven doesn't work out, we just sign Jackie?
Imagine UCal didn't sign a team. They just suddenly here are 2 imports. We get Jackie Love and UCal.
Who are the biggest non-existing players this split?
It's just
Jackie.
Jackie Love.
Yeah, it's just Jack Love, I think.
It's really just Jackie Love.
I think Maxwell's a free agent as well.
No one cares about Max Lord. This in 2020 they did.
Solo.
I'm sorry, no one does.
That might be true, but he's still a kind of big name.
This is when Dig pull out the Piglet and Matt.
Yeah, but true Piglet is more like Piglet and Mata.
Oh, that is true.
They'll get Coach Mata from RNG as their support.
All right, guys.
Alright.
Yeah, we should probably move on to
We should
talking
actually
about
move on.
teams.
It's on the academy roster of this team. I just want to say I love how Oceania has become like a feeder league for NA and somewhat you.
Yeah, it's us 69.
I really like that. They
Hey.
have a purpose.
Our Oshio plans would be good.
you like fudge?
Alright, guys.
I don't like his name, but sure.
Moving on to the next team, which both Flibble and I have finishing 7th. It's TSM. Justin, please fill us in.
Whoa!
Wait, do I have
Yeah.
the finishing 7th?
I actually didn't look
my
at
god,
your.
I forgot I did that.
Yeah, but Jordan, these guys also put EG 5th, so
That's very true.
Alright, so let's talk about Team Solo Mid. Alright, let's have a look at their roster, shall we? Okay. Bjergsen, he's never fucking leaving, alright? And now they have another Danish AD carry, which is like, when did they, like, Reggie, please. Like, what are you doing? So Kobbe in summer looked better than Sven did, which is fair. He looked pretty good at Worlds, but he's no OG news,
But
It's like,
also, he's
see that
played
happen
with
with
more than one
teams.
support in his career.
he's played like, let's just say, Kobbe looked a lot worse when Mickey X wasn't his support anymore. I'm just saying. People said he looked better. I don't agree. My God. And now he's got Biofrost. I don't know how I feel.
I don't know where to start with this TSM roster.
Bio is interesting. Bio's a good memer, so I like that.
All I can say is I feel so sorry for Broken Blade.
I don't.
I don't think he's. I think he's overrated. I think there's a lot of people that think he's a top 3, and that's not true at all. He's
Broken
for
Blade is
me
even
the
top
7th
3.
best top laner.
He's not even top 3 if we exclude the actual top 3. Oh no.
And
Dardoch is gonna be a fucking interesting pickup. Holy shit.
I don't know why they're going with Dardoch unless I don't know.
I actually like the Dardoch pickup. As
I
much as
like it as well.
I think it's the funniest, most interesting jungler they could have gotten. And it's either gonna be like the first fucking jungler since like Amazing to actually do something, or we're gonna have season 2 of fucking Breaking Point.
I think
So-
Dardoch can just spam gank top, and their gameplay will be fine.
Yes.
Yeah, Broken Blade's gonna
I
fucking
just-
need it.
Yeah. If you just look at who they could have picked up for jungle, I would have put a blank check to go and get Xmithie, but it looks like they spent all that money on Kobbe.
Yeah.
I
Imagine
don't. It's
imagine
too
all
much of a risk. I think Dardoch's an incredible player when he's at his peak.
Yes.
And-
Give me 2016 Dardoch. Holy
And
moly.
if you go across his teams, they were top at one point with him.
Yeah.
But there's a point where they all go downhill. Let's put it like, for me, the biggest testament of this was CLG gave up going to Worlds to get rid of him in summer.
Yeah, they had who did they get? I forgot.
They had Moon.
They had someone else.
No, they had their academy mid laner playing jungle. Because I remember this. He was level 1 at 5 minutes in the first regional final game against C9, where he's on Maokai jungle.
Dude, they had an Omar God. That was it.
Oh yeah, it was, oh my god.
They had Omar God. It was awful. He didn't they I forgot who it was at the time that was talking about how they had to fucking teach him to play the game.
Like CLG were first, and they were looking real good with him. But it got to a point where it was so toxic, they didn't care about that. Essentially,
Yes.
they just wanted out. They just wanted their cut ties with him, and it was kind of close against C9, but not really. Like Stixxay was playing out of his mind to keep him in that series.
Yeah. So I don't know. The Dardoch is weird to me, as much as he's weird, he's definitely the most as soon as Xmithie was off the table, he was probably the best option. And everyone that says Meteos is stupid and it's not gonna work. Meteos on TSM would have been a fucking dumpster fire. Any bigger than this could even possibly be. Holy shit.
Yes.
Meteos would actually he would quit his fucking career playing for TSM. Holy. Nah.
What do you think,
I
Cable?
think Dardoch was the best jungler they could have picked for TSM because he's already a cocky, arrogant, and overrated player for a cocky, arrogant, and overrated org.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the shoe does fit.
No, I mean,
Holy
I was trying to
shit.
think back, and the only team in which I remember Dardoch actually finishing a split with a team was the Eika Fox roster that finished third.
Yes.
Every other team he's
He was
either
good.
been subbed and or kicked out or something.
Hey, he stayed on Liquid for a while.
He
He
stayed
kept getting suspended.
Did he get benched by Fox in the summer?
No, he
Was
didn't.
it just
He just
Just the
got
whole year?
bought by
I think no,
Optic, I think.
No, he just got bought by Optic at the end
Yeah,
of the year.
at the end of the year.
so I mean, he lasted the whole year with Echo Fox,
Yeah.
didn't
Yes.
he? But I remember what did they do with the roster? They just
They had some weird
Yeah.
shit, dude.
they kind of they brought in Smoothie, and it wasn't as good as when they had Adrian. And
Altec.
Yeah, Xbox was a mess. That's just
And Phoenix.
it's him and Dardoch and Adrian are these types of players.
They're working specifically.
They make
Great
teams
player.
not to be funny, but Adrian on the last 2 teams, I think he's played Immortals and Echo Fox, right? And they were challenging for first.
Dude, Adrian is. Dude, Adrian's funny.
These are the type of players you struggle to keep them because they're so toxic and bad for the environment. but they're so good.
Adrian on paper was a fucking god, by the way.
Like, they were so good.
He was so
at
good at
one
raid
point-
supports.
They make bad rosters compete, and they make good rosters go boom.
He was like insane because he like spoke like 3 languages fluently. Like he was fucking. He was literally everything you could have possibly wanted. It's actually insane.
Like, and this is the thing, I totally expect TSM to probably come out of the gate swinging.
Yes, that's always
This
what
is-
Dardoch teams do.
Like, Dardoch teams are really good at the start. Like, they look like the finished article from day one.
hmm
And it just goes downhill week after week.
And they play Liquid in week 1.
Yeah, it's
They play Immortals in Liquid. Could be 2 a week with Pobelter in. I can see it happening.
Yeah, I can see that happening so easily.
I think TSM will be fine. Like they have enough talent to put through like playoffs without any major issue. Unless like
yeah. I think
FlyQuest and DG both like really step up.
well, TSM almost didn't make the playoffs was it last year or 2018? It was
They had a tiebreaker with
Yeah.
Altec.
yeah, that was the closest they've ever come to not.
That was
Making
last. Was that spring 2019?
No, they were in finals.
No. Yeah, but they still could. They still could have almost failed to miss that. Make playoffs.
I think it was summer 2018
It
no,
might have been.
because they were in semi-finals with C9. What am I talking about? It must have been spring 2018. I don't know when it was.
It was probably spring. Actually, that split.
No. Wait, hold up. It was totally spring 2019
No, it wasn't.
because they faced
they were
C9.
almost
No, they faced C9 in semis.
Yeah,
and
but
TSM were bad, and I
Yeah,
was really confident, and then we got reverse swept.
listen. They were 1 game away from first place in 2019 spring.
Were they?
Yes.
I-
It was 2018 summer. They ended. That was when they had the 4-way tie. Or no, there was a 4-way tie with 100 Thieves, Echo Fox, TSM FlyQuest, and Optic was 1 game behind.
I hated that season.
I could have sworn
Sorry
that.
to say that.
I'll notice that Optic's been so close in playoffs so many times that it just blends together.
So close yet so far.
Yep. They were
I
the
think-
gatekeepers of playoffs, really, and then they made it and got
Yep.
3 out.
Well, they should have won game 1.
True.
We can agree that TSM will be
This
fine.
TSM,
Does anyone want to say anything else?
This TSM roster's. I don't know. I think the CSM roster
like,
is.
a lot of people are putting these guys second.
No.
I think they're better than. EG. I think they're just on paper better than EG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think if everything goes well for both teams, I still think
Taking out the C9 bias, I can't see a world in which I can see a world, sorry.
Like-
But
I think these last 3 teams,
like realistically, they should be
What
better
is-
than EG. And EG are.
yeah.
these last 3 teams like EG,
But when you start to look up the top,
Yeah, I mean
When
there
you
are
start
4
to
teams
look-
left.
when you start to look at what are meant to be like the cream of the crop,
Yeah.
to me, nothing much has changed.
yes.
Yes.
And if I'm going off this logic, they aren't a top 3 team.
And like compared to last year, they upgraded jungle pretty substantially. That's it. They 80 is weird. Like I don't know if that's an upgrade yet. Sven was not bad last year. Like he wasn't great, but he wasn't bad. And I don't know. In my head, Smoothie and Bio are similar in terms of their combined just pure skill level. I just think they do different things. So I don't see how this roster is suddenly going to be top 2 because I don't think they're. I think the other 3 teams that we haven't talked about yet all upgraded.
We have 4 teams.
One of them made a solid upgrade. Yeah, but okay.
All right.
Let's be real. Liquid. Let's talk about Liquid. So yeah, okay, fine. 2 teams above them made substantial changes that will just be solid changes. 2 other teams upgraded substantially in my mind. So I don't know, man. Kobbe, did I just love the Reddit drama that happened with Kobbe, where they were like, there's no way Kobbe goes to NA because he has a girlfriend in EU.
You can just both move.
And they're like, okay. And I loved how I'm pretty sure I saw her post about how she was moving to LA before it was even officially announced that he was going to TSM. Like, this is not.
Yeah, that's not solid evidence.
Social media people.
So
dude, there was like a whole Reddit meme, but I forgot what it was. I'm so
I think
sad.
these last 3 teams, like Evil Geniuses, FlyQuest, TSM, will depend a lot if things go right for them. But even if things go right for TSM, I don't think they'll finish like top 2. Like, no way.
I think if things go right for them, they can. But I mean, I think if every team has their shit, like figures their shit out, then I think there's at least 3 better teams than TSM.
No. Dardoch can. Yeah, I think Dardoch can be good. I think Wiggily can be good. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the Biofrost effect is because I feel like imagine that he's way better than he actually is. Like, he's good.
You know who I like to see more? I like to see more of Lost, but he'll never get good. Okay.
He's no core JJ. Yeah, I think that's all we have for TSM.
Man, I love talking about NA. I just love minor regions. Just want to say that.
Yeah, it's good
so
fun.
interesting to talk about them. Like even if we never see them at Worlds, finals or anything. So the team we have next is CLG. Flibble, please guide us through CLG.
I'm mad.
I like the CLG roster. I like what they've done. I think that for them, they've upgraded in support, and it's definitely an upgrade in mid. Like Crown's just followed PoE and taken his spot again. Yeah.
So actually, just
disagree on the support end.
I think support's a side grade because they do different things.
I think it's a side grade, but I think for the team by the end of spring, it's going to be a better position than they would with Biofrost.
To be an upgrade in terms of what they want to do.
My problem with the Smoothie change is you brought in a worse laner, in my opinion.
Yeah.
To a guy that's already struggling to gain any momentum. So
see, I think Stixxay is really I think Stixxay is really okay. So let me give you my little all right. I think Stixxay is underrated. I think Stixxay is really fucking good. I think sure he had Bio on his team, which was a good thing for his early game, and he still didn't look great in the early game. But I don't know. I feel like there was just something off about the 2019 CLG that was like.
I think the thing that was off was the head coach.
I think maybe.
Their coaching staff is a lot better.
They got Song, which is a big change in their coaching staff. I love that change.
I'm curious to see what Song does now that he's kind of the reins are off in a sense with the TSM hierarchy looking down upon him.
Dude, he got actually.
This is his roster, and he can now coordinate it with.
It's like I don't know,
two really good solo laners.
Dude, on paper, this roster is so fucking good. It's insane. If you look top down, Ruin is a fucking monster. This man, I don't know. I vividly remember Double Life talking about this one crazy scrim where they played Ruin mid, and he just shat on Jensen so hard that he couldn't play the game. It was hilarious. But
I think Ruin's heavily underrated.
Dude, I love Ruin. I watched the one time that I went to LCS. I watched him play not one game on that day, but 2 games because their what was this? Who was their top laner for Academy? I forgot. It was Nintendo Dude, I think. Or Fallen Bandit.
I'll check that.
One of the two. I thought Nintendo Dude role swapped, so it might have been him, but it might have been Fallen Bandit. Anyway, their Academy top laner was out, so I got to watch him play Singed against Revenge. It was hilarious. These were the bottom 2 Academy teams at the time. It was like 3-13 versus 4-12. It was the Academy showcase. It was hilarious. I loved every second of it.
I really
it's
like
World Bandit.
Ruin's a fucking monster laner. He was by far Fenerbahce.
Rumble.
He is insane on Rumble. I don't know. He's like turbo underrated. Wiggily got his shit together for most of the year. He was really bad. He was like pretty bad in spring, and he looked way better in summer. Like
I want to see how he coordinates with Crown.
that's the thing. It's Crown. I just all I'm gonna say about Crown is this man didn't get it. Like he got shat on for winning worlds. He got shat on for literally denying the best player in the world from playing the fucking game. Which is just insane to me. It doesn't make sense to me. The community backlash Crown got for literally being the main reason this team won worlds.
Yeah.
It's actually like mind blowing to me. And then he played on Optic. He was literally surrounded by 4 clowns. Or 3 clowns and Meteos. My bad. But like, holy shit.
I think you have to go back to Genji 2018 is I think a big part of why no one rated him anymore, which is quite sad.
But no one rated him when he was like, no one ever rated him. It's so sad.
Like the C9 games when I just think Jensen's always had his number. Like
Yeah,
even in the 2016, Jensen was beating Crown in lane.
I remember. Actually, in 2016, they were going back and forth. 2016 was the year with the Cassiopeia.
Yeah,
where he 1v3'd them.
Yeah, that was
That was a sad play by his now teammate Smoothie. Dude, I don't know, man. Like Crown barely got rated when he was literally the best mechanical mid laner in the world in 2016.
That's just crazy to me thinking about it. Like Smoothie had just started out his career in 2016, getting bodied by one of the best Korean players at the time, and now he's on his team.
And now they're gonna win NA together.
I'm really excited for the CLG roster.
I think this CLG roster paper is the best roster they've had in.
I
think best roster they've had ever.
If they had Xmithie instead of Wiggily, I would have said this team's my dark horse to win LCS. I think they'd be top 2.
Yes, I think I agree with
easily top.
That would have been that if they would have had. If they would have had it like Xmithie, Svenskeren, maybe Santorin, probably. But that.
I think Wiggily is like Xmithie light, which is still fine. I think they're definitely in contention for taking.
Wiggily just has to be like consistent, and then everything will be just given to them.
They would have been third on our power rankings if Flibble didn't troll.
Yeah, for me, they are the third best team, in my opinion. Like going into the league.
I think I have them out fourth, but yeah, I really like this roster. I really love Crown. I'm a Crown lover since he is.
There is a couple of non-CLG lovers out there in the world that have them really low on the power rankings, but
I have them as low as I could put them. I have them at 4th. Like I don't think they get anything worse than 4th.
They would have been third on our power rankings if you didn't troll. That's all I'm saying. And you didn't troll their position. You trolled some other team.
I'm gonna say this a lot for the last couple of teams, but if I'm basing this off the pretense nothing changed, well, Clutch is boom, so I can't. They're not in the power rankings, so they automatically get bumped up to 3rd.
Yeah.
And they were better than TSM last year.
Yep. I mean, they didn't get reverse swept by Clutch. They probably beat TSM in the final.
Yeah, it's a shame, but
it's something.
Look, I wasn't a fan of CLG during the latter stages of the Darshan era, but
because hey, you gotta call up Zion Spartan again now.
Going for CLG is such a good move in comparison to.
I love how Alarim tweeted right after Darshan changed his name back to Zion Spartan. He's like, "What if I change my name to Darshan now?" And Riot told him no. There's a cooldown.
I think they've
Yeah, I think
really
CLG
turned it around.
I think CLG made the best roster moves they probably could have.
Yeah, they've
They
made
were
some
biding
amazing
their
roster
time,
moves.
purchasing small things here and there.
Assuming
And
Xmithie
now-
was never going to be a thing, this was the best roster they could
If they had the opportunity to sign him, I'd be very upset that they turned it down.
Yes.
Because
He is just better, Wiggily.
he would 100%
Put them
make
second.
Crown and Ruin very happy.
He would be perfect, actually. Imagine that roster coming together, and then we get, like, peak Stixxay, and they actually just win LCS.
Yeah. Okay,
Man,
shall we move on to the...
The last thing I want to say, dude, this roster's ceiling is actually so high. It's actually disgusting. Like, their
Yeah.
carries are so fucking gifts. Like, they have 3 fucking insane mechanical players as their top mid and AD.
Yeah.
It's fucking scary, dude. But it can backfire. But I can't see it back. Like, they're gonna be in playoffs.
If Wigglily's bad, this team's going to struggle.
Yes. And then it's
Because Crown will never get to do anything.
Yep. You mean
Crown
kind of
won't
like
get-
you mean kind of like last summer, where like in week 1 and 2, he was just literally outclassing everyone else in the league that they played against by himself, and then, well,
I'm just...
his sides
He's one
lost.
of my favorite players.
What is Crown
He's
even
so
doing
damn
in
good.
NA?
He loves NA.
Yeah, he loves
He
it.
like actually genuinely likes NA, which is like just like Bang. Like I like imports like that.
Who
I don't like-
actually
I don't-
want to win. They care.
Don't like
Interesting.
Forbidden imports.
No.
Or even,
Jiizuke.
I'm sorry, I didn't like what Sven was talking, the way Sven was talking at it, but it looked like he's clearing up a little bit now that he's on C9.
Yeah,
And he
I
hates NA
can relate.
less. but-
As I said earlier, I really love
Oof.
minor regions, and wildcards are really NA as well.
To me,
God damn it.
Sven's, I think, thinking before was, I'm going to come here, wipe the floor with a trash region, and then head on out.
Yeah, probably. 'Cause he came in with when him and Xmithie were the best bot lane in the fucking in the
Yeah,
West.
and they thought, alright, I'm going to destroy these guys. And then
There you
I'm going
go.
to head on back to EU as the almighty savior that
Lord
won both
Lord
regions.
Svenningsen.
Yep. I think he's humbled a lot since the TSM days, though.
Yeah.
I think he
would not-
kind of knew that he wasn't going to get a top team in EU.
I can't wait for him to get the Sven effect, the C9 Sven effect.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
So yeah, before we
Anyways,
move
let's
on
go
to
on to the
C9, we
next
have to
team.
talk about 100 tips. So please, Marn, guide us through.
Thank God that Sunday's back in the league.
Jesus Christ!
It's
It's
been
actually,
a while, but
I can't. I don't understand how the second best. I would like at least top 3 at least the 3rd best top laner in the league was sitting in the academy just because his mid lane. Like, how bad was Soligo that they needed to put in Ryu?
that was. And they still have him on the academy team,
Oh no!
which is pretty funny.
Poor Soligo.
I just love their core so damn much that I think they will pick up wins regardless of how Ryoma and Stunt are doing.
Yeah,
I just
went to finals.
just really, really like. I know they're running it back, but it's not a bad call to run it back with.
Let's hope Meteos doesn't get traded to FlyQuest this time.
You have 2 of the top 3 in like their position in Sunday and Cody, and Meteos is pretty damn solid.
Yeah, I love Someday. I really like Meteos for this roster. Like Cody Sun's really good, and like I really like Stunt. What I've
Yes.
seen from Stunt in the past,
Dude.
I really like.
Stunt's just like he's meshed with whoever he's been with, and he
Dude,
doesn't
like,
look out of place.
What does Stunt like? What
does he have to
crime did he
do to
commit
get-
that he got kicked off of so many teams?
Yeah, I have no idea. Like this team is built to win NA, and
God.
I think they can do it.
Who was it? Who was it that he played with? That like apparently they said like there was like a rumor that he just got removed because the AD carry didn't want to fucking play with him. Was it Arrow? That was Arrow and Phoenix 1, no?
Yeah, it must have been.
Competed laning with him and they kicked him. Because that was the Arrow MVP split. It's fucking crazy. He's so like Stunt is so fucking.
This is
Stunt Cody can be so hype.
so. There was something in like the TSM portion I wanted to talk about that I can say about Cody as well. It's a big year for him.
Yes.
He needs to nail down that top 2 spot. Yeah. And he needs to start performing in the games versus TL. Because
against everyone besides
everyone else apart from Doublelift, he's just
doesn't die.
He's just crapped the bed against Doublelift. That's all you can say.
Dude, he was like the tier list was just Doublelift, Gap, Cody Sun, Gap.
Yeah.
Everyone else. Last split, like Jesus Christ. And then there was like people that were like 50-50, like Bang, Stixxay, Sven, and Sneaky. Jesus, dude. This is good. Yeah, this is a massive year for him, and it's also going to be a big split for Ryoma to show that to prove that he belongs, because insane mechanical player, unproven like outside of Australia.
I really love what Papa Smithie has done this offseason. He brings in Zix, he brings in Cody Sun, he brings in Meteos, and like there's this unproven mid laner from Oceania, and like I listened to something that Papa Smithie was on where he was talking about like the idea behind it all, and it was literally just we're just using Spring to figure out if this works, which is the perfect way to go about it, because summer is what matters now in NA.
You just got to make top 8 in summer.
I agree, but disagree about the Spring doesn't matter, because it's a big risk banking on one split to define your season. And the sad thing about this is it's all because of best of ones.
Yeah.
This is why I feel you need to start locking down your roster and making sure it's good now. Even though it doesn't matter if you're good now, like 4 to 5 months later. But I feel you need to start setting foundations for your team right now, and you can move around pieces that will fit in to how you want to play.
Yeah.
I think their whole roster's fine, and if Ryoma doesn't work out, that's fine. You can bring in like a DeMonte or someone of that stature that would just slot into their team.
Yeah.
I just think Papa Smithy to me, I feel his trail of thought is, I'm going to right the wrongs that 100 Thieves did in 2018.
We're not going to bench Cody for Rikara.
We're not going to bench Cody. We're not going to get rid of Meteos. We're not definitely benching Someday in 2019.
For not letting Aframu decide how things run.
Yep.
Because wasn't Afro the reason, or one of the big reasons why Cody was benched in the first place? Nah, dude.
Yeah, Aframu didn't like him.
Yeah, Aframu didn't like. I've seen a lot of issues with Aframu over the last couple of years. Of his play hasn't been as good. Like, he doesn't like working with certain players who are really talented.
Doublelift.
Yeah, Doublelift, Cody Sun. Like,
I feel he gets intimidated by big players in lane who will expect more of him, and he probably doesn't deliver.
Dude, what if Johnson gets kicked off Dig? Does that mean he's going to become the third best AD carry in NA?
Probably.
They got rid of Double, he became the best AD in NA. Got rid of Cody, became the second best AD in NA. It's Johnson time, baby. All right. Yeah, that's all there's. I feel like that's all there is to say. It's just Ryoma is a question mark.
If he's bad, too bad. This team probably not sucks, but
this team still makes this team still makes semi-finals if Ryoma isn't great.
If Ryoma underperforms, this team is still safely in playoffs.
Maybe. If Roma is terrible, then I would bank on like a fly quest to beat them and get to the semi-finals.
Or a TSM.
Yeah, I would have more faith in.
FlyQuest.
Yeah,
Let's go PoE. Let's go Misfits. I mean, what?
but if Ryoma is
Dude, Ryoma is
one
mechanically
thing
good
I
enough
think
that he should be
about-
decent.
the one thing I'll always think about when like talk about Niski is just be average because your team's so damn good.
Yeah.
Do your role, and they will carry you to whatever you need to do.
That was the one I was saying that you were going to flame, but you didn't even flame him as hard as I thought. So I'm glad. I like Ryoma.
I think
he'll be
Ryoma will
great.
be great as well.
I think he'll be a great fit for this team.
I really like this roster.
Like,
It's just
I hope
think-
he doesn't get pressured by like how fucking good his teammates are.
I just feel there is not enough humble players in League of Legends, or certainly in NA.
People that can
Like-
get over their ego and just accept that if they just do what the team needs, they can
Just do your job, and your team, like, you will get to whatever you want to be. Like I said it a lot
Yeah.
last year, Sneaky and Zeyzal just had to do their job a lot better than what they were doing in lane, and they were probably. I think a lot of reasons why C9 didn't win that game 4 against TL, but it's fine. I don't
Yeah.
think Sneaky was the reason they lost that series.
Well, speaking of C9,
Well, speaking of C9, I guess we can move on
Let's move
to
on to it.
I
number
think we
2
can.
in our aggregate power ranking.
I
C9.
think we can. Jeez, this team is so interesting. Vulcan is really fucking good. He was second best player on Clutch Gaming last year, and even though they paid a lot for it, they paid to fund the Huni crime. Jesus, I don't know. I think Licorice is still a top 3 top laner at worst in NA. Niski is still a very solid mid laner. This team is going to depend on how Sven and Blabber perform, because Vulcan is going to be good. Sven just needs to chill, honestly.
I think Vulcan's the strongest laning support that Sven has had in his career.
I mean, he's also the third support. So
He's also the third support. It's the third support he's had
Probably
in what, 5
the
years?
strongest laning support.
Like,
Jesus Christ.
I think Vulcan's going to be really good.
Yeah,
for
he's a
this
better laning
This is
support.
the strongest
than
laning
Smoothie and
bot
Xmithie
lane
would.
C9 have had.
round. Yeah. This is the
I mean-
strongest lane C9 have had for.
Yes, they had sneaky lemon, sneaky high,
Sneaky Smoothie.
sneaky smoothie, and sneaky Zeyzal.
Actually, no, once they had a sneaky golden glue.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
Sneaky played Morgana. Golden glue played fucking Aurelia.
Wait, did they have? Wait, did Sneaky? No, Sneaky didn't play when he was when the C9 players were sick. That was Blabber Zeyzal, baby.
that was,
that was the-
one of the
that was the-
hilarious.
That was the most
That's
aggressive bot lane.
And you know what was funny? See, now we're getting flamed. Like,
Yeah, it's like, oh my
Okay,
god, how could they lose to Chex
like
Nuts?
flame the
Fnatic?
licorice thing, fine. But they almost came back against Fnatic, playing freaking Svenskeren and Zeyzal bot lane. And Buffer Retrox. Oh my god, that's absolutely hilarious. They almost won that game as well. They just started picking like team fights out of the Matrix and almost beating strong Fnatic.
Oh my god. Okay. Blabber, if Blabber plays the way he played at group stage of Worlds, then C9's is making finals. This guy fucking shat on the 2 best junglers, or 2 of the 3 best junglers at Worlds. Bro, I almost forgot about the best jungler at Worlds. Also known as the World's MVP, but you know, alright. Blabber's really good. He's not gonna be Svenskeren, he's going to be Blabber, and it's going to be either fantastic or he'll still probably be okay. Like, I don't fuck. Dude, C9, they're gonna make work like they always do.
Like, I think the thing that people forget, Lucas was so damn good at Worlds.
Dude, this roster is
Dude,
such.
he went 3-0 against Wonder, who was touted as one of the best top laners in the world. Like, he was solo killing them, and that was a surprise to me.
I mean, Bwipo's the best top laner. Well, I mean, sorry. All right,
Wait,
let's
you mean
hold on.
SOAZ, right?
Hold on, Justin. I just...
Yeah, I mean,
The
this
thing-
roster on paper could be so good. This
Yeah.
is
For
the
me,
real competitor. Not
the weight
Evil
up on
Geniuses.
the shoulders of this team is Blabber. Like, if Blabber does well, this team could even like win the split. Like, if he's inconsistent, this team will drop
The thing is...
because
Oh,
we
sorry,
know
go on.
everyone else is good, like real good.
Yeah, Sven needs to just literally relax.
So... I think C9 should be given the benefit of the doubt by now.
They
Yes.
definitely should be. Yeah.
That every like okay, I have like a list, like I'm gonna call it like a timeline in a sense, like 2 cinematic universes, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
The actual players they've brought on intentionally and the benching players that they've just subbed in. Every main roster player they've brought in has done really well. Every
Yeah.
single one. The
That's
only one
actually-
you could probably, the only one you could probably like question mark is probably Ray. But even still, we almost won the LCS with him.
Okay, you're not counting Keith. All right, good.
No, like I actually said like the timeline of the bench-a-thon players, and when they've
Ray was like at the peak of his career when he played on C9 as well.
like Ray, if you remember,
Ray was
When
like okay.
they-
It wasn't Ray's fault.
oh no, because Ray was actually really good in spring 2017, and then he had like the mental problems, and then he didn't play again on C9.
He never played again, and now he's on KT roster, baby.
Yeah, and I just have to give the benefit of the doubt to them, even if I wasn't a fan.
Yep.
Like
Their
we
track
turned
record, they're the
Svenskeren
only
back
team.
into one of the really like SK Sven. In my
They are
opinion.
the only team, literally the only team in the world that has made it to every single world championship since they've like 4. Okay,
They're the only major region team. I found this out the other day watching a video to do the Golden Road in their first split. When they were saying Golden Road, they would define it as they're the only rookie team to win it in their rookie split.
they did what a Griffin couldn't do.
Yes, and that record still holds to this day, by the way.
Mhm. True.
Unless E-Stars comes in does the thing. Let's go
Well,
E-Stars.
Let's go
Actually,
Star.
G2 definitely didn't count as a rookie team. They had KK's Emperor on their team.
So yeah, turns out Rogue,
the
a team
old
that has
rookie.
always been pretty good, is still pretty good. I don't think there's much else to say.
Yep.
So we move on to number 1
Not
team
much to
then.
say. Yes, coming in an F for Brox's visa momentarily. Can we get a POG for Sternfire having visa issues?
Yeah, I don't know why that guy's I know.
Dude, they got Mike Young as if they added Mike Young after. Why is Mike Young not their academy player instead of Sternfire? It's fucking.
Why is Mike Young not playing in the LCS right now?
Because Pobelter is clearly a better jungle.
True.
Because
But
some reason
why
people
isn't he on?
feel the
Dignitas?
reason to add Greg to their roster.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh no, dude. And apparently, Golden Guardians really wanted closer. Actually, I rate
What
so more.
what
than
a
Greg.
mess this could be. It could be a mess, but based on I think the new format actually saves them a lot.
Yeah.
Because if they weren't ready by the time, so say for example, Boxer came in week 5, 6, it's not a lot of time to prepare for playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And say because Pobelter's been average to awful, they get C9 or CLG in the playoffs. That's not looking good.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's just a whole split wasted on Broxer. Which is real sad, because I was really looking forward to see what he does in LCS.
Yeah, but no, I mean, they basically just get like they just gain 2 weeks of time in a way by the format, by the losers bracket format.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's say they come in as like a first seed, they play them and they get knocked out in quarterfinals because they just had a bad record with Pobelter. Which I don't know, man. I don't think Pobelter. I think their fucking laners are so fucking good that it might not even fucking matter that Pobelter is their jungler.
And he already has experience with this team before.
Turns out it's really easy to look good as a jungler sometimes when your laners are really fucking good. And let's have a look at their laners. Impact. Best top laner in the league. I will not hear a counter argument, Licorice fanboy. Alright.
Banter aside, I agree.
Jensen.
Impact is so good.
Jensen. Top 2 mid laner. At worst. Probably the best mid laner.
I think
like overall.
Definitely the best mid laner in the league.
He is the best mid laner in the league.
I think he was the best mid laner in the league even on C9. He's just because he's on C9 he didn't get the credit.
Yep. Probably. Because Bjergsen...
Like, it upsets me that Svenskeren, whilst he was really good, wasn't like shining like how do I say this?
No,
it wasn't like Jensen having almost 200 kills above everyone else in the league in 2017. And Arrow still getting the MVP. Jensen didn't get top 3 in that voting, by the way.
I remember having Jensen in fantasy. Amazing.
It was just the freest freaking... Yeah.
Oh, wait, it was 2017 or 2018?
2017 was the...
when Arrow won it was 2016.
Was it?
Even better. Yeah. When Arrow got MVP was 2016. I know it's long.
No. I remember Bjerg. Is either Bjerg or Bjerg was higher than him, definitely.
Yeah, I mean in 2017, I remember having Jensen and Reckless at like just getting fucking millions of kills at the same time in fantasy. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, to continue my rant on how fucking insane their laners are, they have literally double lift as their AD carry, and they have the best player in the fucking league.
So 4 out of the 5 positions, they're the best in their roles, definitively.
And jungle is top. And jungle is top 2.
Yeah,
because only Xmithie might be better than Broxer.
The issue is
he's just a better centaur. Like he should just be a better Centauran and a better Dardoch. Actually, weird.
Better than Svenskeren.
Actually, that's you're right. I forgot about Svenskeren because his team's not going to be in playoffs.
He's going to be like the
Svenskeren.
I think Broxer will look better than Svenskeren in the split. By the way, if he play, like assuming that he gets in like as soon as like week 3 or something. But like,
ironically, like everyone's gonna meme the Svenskeren tower dive against Fnatic, but he was actually doing pretty fine against Broxer in that series.
He was probably the only player that was standing out.
He was actually
because Licorice was having a bad one that series.
Yeah. Was it him, or do you think they just threw him on this champion that really did not work, and they just kept running it back?
Because that was they tried to counterpick the victor, yeah. And he just got slammed.
Do you think it was just one of those? Is like this was our counter, it didn't work. Oh well, I guess we lose.
I mean, their bot lane got fucking.
I mean, and then they took the victor to bot because they didn't want to play against it top lane, which is pretty funny.
Their bot lane slammed so fucking hard.
The only reason I don't have Liquid first in my power rankings is
because you're a troll.
No, it's the visa issues. I think, like, even if Pobelter meshes with the team well, like they're gonna put Broxer in the moment that they can, and I think they're gonna have some teething issues on stage with that. And I think that keeps them from first place in spring.
I think if Xmithie was on CLG, maybe. But he's on Immortals.
I finally remembered my C9.
Go for it.
If I can. Go for it.
Yes, go.
With C9, there is a this is the first time I felt like with a C9 roster that it has such a high that it could probably still just go terribly wrong.
Welcome to the club.
You talking about Fnatic?
Maybe.
Like, this could go really good, and it could probably get us to a quarters or a semis.
Remember when?
Or this could not even get us to the whole thing at all.
Yeah. Remember when Fnatic was 3-7? You want that? You like that, huh?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! No, it'll be good. You'll be fine.
Blabber's.
The top 4 teams we talked about, I don't see them not making playoffs.
100%.
I don't see it.
I think Blabber's ceiling's so damn high off the worlds and Licorice.
Imagine thinking CLG is gonna get like
7th place.
7th or 8th place.
Yeah, there's across NA there are definitely 3 brackets of teams. There's TLC9, 100 Thieves, CLG for top 4. You've got TSM, FlyQuest, EG for like that next 3. And then there's Immortals, Dignitas, and Golden Guardians who are going to really struggle this year.
I think Immortals is a tier above the other 2.
I think just because of Xmithie, they probably just...
He has more star power in his like pinky toe than the other teams
There's
together.
like 5 tiers at the moment.
And I think SOAZ will do fine.
I think SOAZ will be better than people.
Yeah,
think.
I really like SOAZ. It's just I don't see how Immortals wins a lot of games.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So back to TL.
Mm-hmm.
You can... Steve can spin this however he wants, but this isn't an upgrade.
Man,
I don't
it's so
think,
weird, actually.
Like, you'd probably have to just refresh, but I didn't think maybe Xmithie was the problem at Worlds.
It might be an upgrade, but not because of Xmithie, but I just think because, like... I think it's the only way to compete with G2.
Yeah, I think their team gets stronger, but it's not an upgrade for player.
I think it's the other way around. I think it's an upgrade as a player, but I don't think the team will immediately get stronger.
I don't...
I'm not sure, man.
Because it's like...
I don't think Voxer... So for me, with G2, I don't think player for player, TL is much worse than G2.
No, I
think
they have...
I think you need to bring in someone... I think they needed to bring in someone that was going to bring a new style to them.
I think they really just needed a change of pace.
I just think they were too slow. G2 were too fast, and they didn't have a single answer for them.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And I kind of think they just choked the MSI finals. They were too nervous.
Yes.
Because tell me how many times Doublelift and Core JJ just get solo killed for fun.
I mean, I still think Doublelift and Core JJ should be a better bot lane than Mickey X and whoever the fuck.
I just think G2 are coached extremely well on the Rift and off it.
I mean, G2 is fucking...
Like, they have their style, and they have that down to a T.
Yes. It works against everyone except for Doinby, baby.
TL... I think this is where NA come... This is why I really like C9 as a fan. They're the only one I feel with a different style than the rest of the league.
Not because of Niski and Sven.
Like, they just play... Like, the other day I rewatched the finals from summer, and when you watch TL ace C9 to the way C9 ace TL, it was so satisfying as a fan. It was like, holy crap. And
see, there was this other team, not to go off topic too much, but there was this team in Korea, and they were being called Korea's G2. And then they went to 7th place. They were called Korea's G2 for about 3 weeks.
Who was this, Justin?
We can call them Team Deft and not actually disclose their full name. Honestly, they
Do you
were.
remember-
That's what your
I remember the
C9 thing
time.
was.
I remember that time because the last I spoke to you, they were stomping, and then
Yeah.
when we next spoke, I didn't watch LCK, so I thought they were still good. And you're like, "Wait, you know they're bad, right?" I was like, oh,
And then they gave me false hope in the gauntlet.
but back
Feels
to
bad.
TL. How
Dude,
do they
TL's
change internationally?
maybe.
What the thing is,
I think they get better internationally.
watching TL play against these teams, they can compete.
Core's gonna have a lot on his hands, but he can handle it.
The problem with
Because
TL it's
Broxa's
always
not.
come down to is
Dude,
their first games against the big teams last year. They were really good, and
Yeah.
they just. I think there was a bit of arrogance, and they didn't adapt, and they kind of got ran over.
you had a shadow on Dom.
And then
Then IG happened, but and then Showmaker happened, but
God damn it.
Jesus, yeah, I don't know. I think Broxa is a good fit for what they want if they want to do something internationally. I think CoreJJ is a good enough because I think the problem with Broxa, I mean, compared to Xmithie, is he's not the same communicator that Xmithie is. If you look at the Broxa on Fnatic, from what I've heard, when Caps was their mid laner, he literally fucking micromanaged him and Hylissang to do what the fuck he wanted. And literally, if you look at Fnatic's record, when Nemesis wasn't talking in the first 5 weeks of spring, when they went 3-7, versus when Nemesis started talking a lot, and then they started winning every game. It's like, I don't know. Broxa's never been the big communicator on this team. It's like I'm pretty sure there was only one player on Fnatic that was talked less in comms than Broxa, and I think we all know who that is.
One of the big surprises for me last year for TL was their mid jungle duo was terrible, and Jensen was still popping off.
I don't know, man.
And I think there's probably a
did their mid jungle
this is the
actually
change.
Good with Broxa, Broxa, Jensen, if they mash well.
My fear is
Broxa's
we've
not been
seen
great
this
about
played
playing around
before, where Jensen's the guy.
Yeah.
And I've always felt on the big stage, Jensen has played better as the facilitator than the carry.
Yes.
Definitely.
I think in NA, he has no challenges to me. And he can play the carries. But I think on the world stage or internationals, he's played so much better when it's not about him.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's the same for double lift to an extent, where on the international stage he just doesn't seem as confident. Both of them seem like they. This is a team of players that, well, I think apart from Impact, kind of like to retreat a little bit when the games get really big.
Disagree when it's CoreJJ.
CoreJJ is he's just amazing.
We can agree that CoreJJ is the best player in the LCS by far, right?
Yes.
This guy is fucking insane.
I know it's not the same occasion, but I feel Doublelift didn't play great in the LCS finals.
I agree.
And it wasn't on him.
I also agree. By the way, when you brought up Doublelift, I was going to bring up Reckless. But yeah, Reckless, not internationally, when he plays against Uzi only.
Oh, and what's his name? I'm ruining the joke already.
I don't know where you're going.
Origin. What's his name?
Patrick?
No,
Upset?
Yeah, Upset.
Yeah, dude. Upset outclasses Reckless every single game. Jesus. Dude, it is so funny if Upset went to NA.
The one problem with TL is, if that's the case, none of the players want to be the carry.
Yeah, I can't believe that. They have 2 world champions on their team.
And those are the 2 best players that will step up for them. The issue is
I've
the other
said
3.
this time and time again. Minus Core, Impact's the best player on TL.
I agree. Also, I don't know. I think the doubleth thing is something, but I like that I still like this more than anything RNG does in high pressure situations, which is the opposite.
Oh, and they just funnel Uzi and hope he can.
Yeah, they funnel Uzi and give him
press Q on Kaiser and win the game.
Yeah, more like kicks Q on Ezreal, they lose the game. God, that draft
Here's the
was
thing
bad.
about this Team Liquid, like even if you contest like even 1, 2, or 3 of their players are not the best in the world, like does it even matter at this point? They're just so stacked.
Yeah, that's a problem. It's like
They should.
Core is so much core.
I
so
don't
much better
think
than
they're at
this.
the G2 point where they're probably bored. Like, for me, Caps and these players should be looking at it. I should be automatically winning this without breaking a sweat. But I think TL came real close to not winning a single thing last year.
So
Because
Oh right, the spring final is interesting.
Because if Sven doesn't do that, it might be a different game.
Might see TSM at
If game 4 against C9,
I'm glad
C9
Sven did that.
C9 didn't Baron the well, they didn't do the 50-50 Baron when it was a 5v3. They could have won the game off that. But they didn't, and then TL deservedly just hard smashed game 5.
Yep. But imagine if Sven didn't do the thing, and then we would have seen Greg at MSI. So thank you, Sven, for doing the thing.
Yeah, thank God. The less Grig games
also,
we see, the
like
better.
my worst case scenario
Exactly.
with this is like, okay, Broxad doesn't work, you still have Churnfire as a support.
Shut up! I don't want to talk to you anymore.